recording. It's going to get very serious. I'm sorry, it's like very official. I say this every single night since the Zoom update. It's not official. We're just cover that are yearning and are just putting in time and putting in effort. But we're continuing. So let's just have the piece in our heads from the night before, the one that we just recapped, because it connects so well with this. And Chaver, before we start, this is my favorite piece. Only recently I opened up to it in Sichot Oran itself, and I'm just like, whoa. I haven't like touched this piece, saw this piece in so long. It's the most beautiful thing in the world. So let's go through it. Even a little is precious. We might have done this in the past year and a half on the Zoom, but again, Chazara is so key, and every single time we learn, it's so different, and we have to learn it like it's the first time. There are people who draw close to God, but later fall away. Even so, the short time they serve God is very precious in his eyes, no matter what happens later. It's such a powerful statement from Rav Nachman. One could be serving God at the age of 20 or the age of 19 when they're going through their seminary year, even though they were serving God before, but like really getting into it, thinking about it, learning about it. And after that, wherever they end off to, it gets harder. You don't have that full-time dedication and free time to really just learn and to put your head down and ask yourself the big questions, answer the big questions. But Rabbi Nachman is saying, yeshiva, seminary, or even high school, or even before that, or even now, wherever we are, in the army, some of us, and some of us in college, this time serving God, that time serving God is so precious. Hashem is not disregarding it. Therefore, you shouldn't disregard it. We shouldn't disregard it. Powerful statement. Rabbi Nachman quotes from Shir Shirim, "You've hardened me with one of your eyes." Chaver, this is the Torah. This is the deepest Torah. Let's all open up our hearts, even though they're open already. In this verse, God addresses the Jewish people, recalling their acceptance of the Torah. The Midrash asks, why does the verse say, with one of your eyes? B'nai Israel, they accepted the Torah. But again, just repeating what it said here, why with one of their eyes? The answer is because the other eye was already looking at the golden calf. Oh, Chevra, you could have the most precious thing in front of you, which is the Torah. You have Hashem Mamish in front of you. But we could only be looking at it at one eye. We may be looking at it with one eye. And the other eye could be on the Lakers game, slapping myself up. Even though Lakers, you could turn it into Torah somehow. But just to relate it to this time, right? You could have one eye in Torah, you could have one eye on the golden calf. Now Rav Nachman discusses, at the very time when they accepted the Torah, they already had ideas of going astray, of distancing themselves, of falling into those traps. Yet even the short time they were close to God was still very dear to him. And this is why he says, you've hardened me with one of your eyes. Right? So even the time when Bnei Israel accepted the Torah, that was enough. That was enough for Hashem to say, you have hardened me with one of your eyes. The fact that you had one eye on the Torah, you are golden. You are precious. That's why the title's even a little is precious. Even though Bnei Israel, they were going astray. They were going to veer off. They were going to go Chas v'shalom on a different path. Hashem said, it's all good. But I think the eitzah, the advice that Rabbi Nachman is giving us is that we shouldn't forget that one eye saw the Torah. We shouldn't forget our Matan Torah experience. Because if we try to forget it, it's going to be that much harder to return back to that path. And this is why it connects so deeply to the Torah we just recapped. Because if you are struggling, it doesn't mean everyone around you should be struggling. And everyone should be going down and sinking with you. Actually, no, the opposite is true. Stay where you are. Understand that you're struggling. Understand that you might be going astray, in a sense, whatever that means. But also know that you had one eye in the Torah. That should be enough strength to keep us there until Hashem lifts us up, lifts ourselves up. And it's so, so precious. Yemirat Hashem will always return. My bracha Torah to the Chevra over here and the Chevra who are watching on YouTube and the people who aren't going to watch on YouTube. They're here somehow. Bracha to all of us is that we should always have two eyes on the Torah. Right? We should be able to get to a place where we can have two eyes on the Torah. Once we do, just lock them in. And if for some reason one eye is only looking at the Torah and the other is looking at the golden calf, know that it's still so precious. And Hashem, you would harden him with one of your eyes. Bezrat Hashem. Guys, questions, comments, please feel free. Story time. Any Rav Zusha stories, please feel free. Gewalt. Anyways, Bezrat Hashem, guys, we should all be healthy, happy, and successful, whether we're guarding the borders of Gaza and now returning to recoup and hopefully not to go to war ever again, whether you're at home doing shlichut, like Nitai Hurari, Mamish in the holiest place, the holiest room, if he flips the camera, or maybe he shouldn't, just going to reveal the secrets. Whether you're Michael Hopper and I, we're about to bring in Shabbos. Right now, you guys are invited. We're going to send out a link to the Chevra Thursday night Tish. Bezrat Hashem, guys, be strong. Know that everything is precious in Hashem's eyes. And have a great Shabbos.